Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream, giving you all the latest information on EVERSPACE 2 with 5 days left in the Kickstarter. Oh my goodness, folks, we are in that home stretch. We're going to get started here in just 1 second. We're looking to try and get one thing live, and then everything's going to be hunky-dory. Thank you all so much for your patience. You are all just great. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. We are getting right into things here at Rockfish Games. We are live on Twitch, we're live on Mixer, we're also live over on Steam. So you could be seeing us any of those parts. We should be live on YouTube hopefully pretty soon. That seems to be a little complication at the moment, but rest assured we'll get that locked down in place for all of your viewing pleasure. Welcome! My name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, and I'm on the development team. I do a lot of work internally for the team, such as QA testing, game design, consultation, and the like. Obviously, a bulk of my time is to hang out with all of you cool people in these streams, as well as on Discord, on Reddit as well. Any place where you guys are communicating with us, I am lurking there, and it is a lot of fun. So we have a bit to show you today. Hopefully my audio levels are good. It looks like they're coming through all right, so we're going to jump right into things. The first thing I'm going to do is introduce the game for anybody who has never heard of it before. We're going to showcase a little bit of gameplay, and then we're going to show you the tutorial mission of EVERSPACE 2. First time reveal. You guys get to see how things start off, what you get to learn in the opening sections. Keep in mind that is very much a work in progress, so you're not going to hear any audio from voice exchanges and whatnot, because it can very much change. In fact, any part of this opening segment can change. So Yeah, so if you're like, oh my gosh, this stinks, I don't like this tutorial, it's fine. We're gonna be working on it. And if you really love it, well, we probably won't change it too much either. So there you go. It'll be good. Most importantly right now is the final stretch of the Kickstarter. We have 5 days left. So we are going to be talking a bit more about that Kickstarter, why it is so integral for you to dive in if you do support our cause, and away we go. So here's EVERSPACE 2. What is it? It is an arcadey space shooter in an open world RPG setting. So if you guys are familiar with the first game, EVERSPACE 1, it was an arcadey space shooter, but it utilized roguelike elements. So for a lot of you guys, it was really challenging. We enjoy challenge. We are hardcore gamers at Rockfish Games, and we love to be pummeled mercilessly so that we can overcome and feel really great and really rewarded by accomplishing that goal. Now, we did use difficulties in EVERSPACE 1, and we also gave you permanent progression systems through the course of through perks. And so every time you died, you'd come back to the hangar, where you would spend your credits on these various perks that would build you up. This is completely changed in EVERSPACE 2. What you see here is the hangar, specifically your home base, where you're going to be doing most of your operations in the game of EVERSPACE 2. But as I mentioned, it is now an open world RPG. So what that means and what that changes about the experience is you're no longer being thrusted into incredibly difficult tasks and forced to improvise on the fly through procedural generation. Instead, every location we're going to be venturing to is handcrafted. So everything has an intentional placement here, with some randomization with various ships that could be there that might not otherwise be there the next time you go. But every decision, every action that you take, it's going to be persistent in this world. And you will see those changes in the various locations about this world over time through the course of your playing. So here we have a pretty expansive map at the moment. A lot of this is a work in progress formula, but as you can see, we have 8 solar systems. When we zoom in here, we are at just one of these points, about 10 per area, so that's about 80 handcrafted locations you'll be visiting through the course of this entire game. Again, that's handcrafted. They are not procedurally generated locations this time around. You will still have procedurally generated locations as you're traveling back and forth between locations. We'll talk a little bit more about that soon. But otherwise, a lot of the controls, a lot of the, even several of the weapons are very reminiscent, if not identical, to EVERSPACE 1. So any veteran players, even though the genre is completely changing, you're going to see that you fall right into place with things real quickly, just from your basic understanding of the first game. Now you will see that this guy's purple, now he's dead, but we have levels. This guy's just a level 1, that purple one was a level 3. And in the upper right corner above my face, you will see that there is a leveling bar that shows how much experience gain that we have until we reach the next level. This is to go into those RPG elements of Roguelike 2, so that you'll be developing yourself and growing with your perks, unlike in EVERSPACE 1 where they are permanent perks through the course of successive runs. Now they are simply permanent perks that you get as you level up. You'll be able to mix and match different perks according to the gear that you find throughout EVERSPACE 2, because this is a looter shooter in space. So itemization is akin to something like Diablo, where all of your different attributes of these various items can have random modifiers on them. It can be skyrocketed high and another thing completely terrible, or it can have incredibly unique elements that you just don't have on another weapon. So you could find 2 pulse lasers that operate very differently, for example. You guys are throwing tons of questions already, and I love it. Thank you so much for your questions. I will be answering many of those in these various intervals of the game. Right now we're still covering just the basics of EVERSPACE 2 for anybody who's never even heard of it before. So you'll have modules now instead of devices. Devices are tied to the ship class that you utilize. Right now we have planned for about 3 different ship classes and 3 different subclasses for each of them. So essentially you have a selection of 9 different ship bases to choose from, And then from there, the customization kind of gets a little bit crazy. Not only will you have your specific itemization on each ship, but you will also have your perks of your character that you've leveled up, as well as the devices that you customize and other features of your ship that you customize through the modular system of your cockpit, your wings, your body, and your engines to your liking. So basically what I just said is that you actually have like over 100 different combinations of ships, well over 100, based on how you can plug and play to your liking and to your playstyle. So right now we are flying the Sentinel. This is the DLC ship from EVERSPACE 1, but it looks completely different. And that is because the wings are completely customized for this particular one. Now here we don't, excuse me while I just throw this barrel, we'll talk about that in a second, but we don't have any specific stats regarding the customization yet, but I can cycle through some of these different ship looks and appearances for you so that you can kind of see the variety of various ships. This kind of looks more reminiscent of the Colonial Sentinel from EVERSPACE 1. We'll get to one that looks even more like it. Like this one. It still has different cockpit and engines, but you can see kind of like where it's stemming from. This one looks very similar. So, yeah, so you'll have a lot of different ways that you can build your ship. Otherwise, we're going to be cruising around these locations, and we're going to be hunting down resources, much like you would in any looter shooter. You have some locations, like this little nook and cranny we found there, that have very specific items that you can find. These are nothing crazy. They're superior items, so they're just better. So we have +9 firepower. That's one of the attributes, one of 6 attributes of your playable ship that is going to mix and match your formula considerably. Let's see what this one has. This one also has firepower. So even though this is just armor plating, this actually gives us a pretty substantial damage increase. I would show you more of the figures, but we're still working on the management system of how you're going to optimize all of your stats. But rest assured, you'll be able to do that using all of these different modules and your weapons, as well as your ship pieces to boot. So we've just found 2 better items. We are hunting things down with a little bit more damage in the process. Oh yeah, so that grapple thing. The grapple mechanic is a bit new. We like the idea of just being able to throw things around in space. I mean, why not? So pesky drones getting on your nerves. Well, if you upgrade your grapple, you'll be able to grab them and just toss them into a drone. Peace out, drone. Nobody liked you in the first game, so let's find some easy ways to eradicate you quickly. There's also a lot of different interactions in each of these handcrafted locations. One of very many of them is this little shadow creature, just a little mini quest, if you will, where he wants you to find another creature. So if you ever go into the sun, you'll see he turns white. He doesn't like that. So your goal is to stay in the shadow and get him to his buddy, where he's going to feel a lot happier about things. So we're going to take him right over here. Ka-chink. Gives us a nice little dark matter, and now let's get rid of all these noobs. First, we're going to use our EMP generator that's exclusive to this ship, the Sentinel. It's not a device that we have on board our ship now. It is a power, essentially. We're going to take out this Madcap, which is also a new enemy type. In EverSpace 2, they drop a nasty swarm of missiles upon destruction, so you have to be really careful when you take them out. Let's see if we can destroy parts of this base. That grapple mechanic, perhaps you'll be able to level it up in time and be able to grab missiles right out of the sky and chuck them back to your opponents. Here we're going to show just a little bit of what that looks like with these barrel bombs. Just chuck them right back to this guy, doing some pretty considerable damage here. And that should do it. Perfect. Next, we're going to look inside of the shipwreck just to see what goods we can find. A couple credits, and a beam laser. Perfect. So weapons are very much akin to what they were like in EverSpace 1 as well. So beam laser, consistent damage. Nice and clean. Beautiful. Let's see what else we can find in here, and then I'm going to start answering your questions because I know you guys have a bunch. I appreciate your patience as I'm going through some basics before we get into the thick of things. So we're going to jump to a new location. This is also entirely new to EVERSPACE in the sense that you now have control over your jumping. So now we can cruise about this space in the solar system to go whenever and wherever we would like to go. So as you can see here, we are flying away from that planet. We are actually flying away from that planet. Like this is all exactly where we're at. We can go all the way over to the sun. Now it can take a while to get here. You can lock onto it at least to make it a little bit easier. You can also see on the screen it says R. If you hold that down, you'll just skip there, get there instantaneously. At Rockfish Games, we really like this mentality of being able to just dive in and play. And if you have that mentality and you don't want to wait around for anything, by all means, use that skip feature. If you do use the skip, you will miss out on various opportunities like what's happening here. We have two of them, in fact. One is this interdiction, which we are going to hopefully escape from. And then the other is this unknown signal that popped up that we can now travel to. So we're going to go ahead and fly to this unknown signal, and then we're going to start answering some of your questions, because I'm sure you have plenty. And then from there, we'll start showcasing some new stuff. That sounds great, right? So what's in this unknown location? Looks like some debris. Maybe some goods are nearby. Yes, no, maybe. Might be goods over there. Not picking up anything yet. Ah, here we go. Got a couple little things. Not too shabby. But as you can see, we stopped right where we left off in space. So we're getting a bit closer to that star. That planet right over there. And there's another one way off in the distance over there. They're all exactly where they were at whenever we got pulled into this unknown signal right here. So now when we go warping towards this planet, you'll see that it doesn't even move. It's actually right there. And now we are heading in that direction. So let's go ahead and pause this, and let's look at some of the questions you guys have. We'll just get things going. Mad Pavel asks, what happens if you don't hit the Kickstarter goal? I know that this question has been a hot one in the community. Some people are fearful we might not make it. So I have a couple of things to mention at this. So first off, if the Kickstarter doesn't reach its goal, then you guys are out absolutely nothing. Basically, we're using what's called an all or nothing formula through Kickstarter. So that means that the funding that you are signing up for isn't withdrawn until the Kickstarter is at the end of its period. So if we don't reach the amount that we set out to hit, that means nobody will have any money withdrawn. You're not out any money. We just didn't get funded, essentially. Now, does that mean EVERSPACE 2 won't be created? Absolutely not. We are very passionate about this project. We still want to make it. It's going to put us a little bit tight on our finances, but we're going to find a way to bring it to life. Regardless, we really want to. We're really excited about this project, and you will hear more information about how we're going to try pouring into that through any possible funding attempts that you would like to do, any donations, stuff like that. We'll keep you informed as soon as the Kickstarter concludes. And that's if it fails. If it succeeds, well, then all of your tiers that you've invested in, you will be locked in place. You will be able to do whatever tier that you signed up for. We'll absolutely be able to satisfy all of those requirements because we'll have the extra funding to do so. And it'll be a joyous occasion for all. So regardless of your concern, rest assured, EVERSPACE 2 will come to completion. Maybe it won't hit all of the things that we would desire it to hit if we don't make the Kickstarter, but still, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's not changing. So there is your main clarification if the Kickstarter doesn't happen. Really long-winded answer, I know, but a very important one. If you are still concerned, just go tell people about it. Go tell people about EVERSPACE 2. Show them your passion, why you love it, why you think it should be funded. That's what we're doing, and any little bit helps. So just raise your voice and keep being awesome. That's really what it comes down to. Excellent. let's see, what other questions do we have here? I see Steam's awfully quiet, as well as Mixer. That's totally okay, you shy boys. It's totally fine. We're going to keep looking through Twitch. We got quite a lot of you guys. Are there any decoys to lure attacking ships away from you? Sour Bomb, I am sure that we will have plenty of ways to lure enemies away. We'll have a lot more about those gameplay mechanics in time, since right now we're mostly focused around building the general gameplay elements and establishing the story components to move forward into next step. So the answer is yes, but we'll be able to share more later about that. You ever get tired of this demo? Nah. Not really. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, this is my passion, right? So whenever you are able to dive into your passion and show people, like, do you get bored of that? I don't. I do not get bored. All right, let's see. Can you change the complete hull only, or wings, thrusters, and color separately? Oh no, you can change it all. You can change it all. Color separately. That is something that I think would be really cool. That would be dope, wouldn't it? All right, watching while playing EVERSPACE 1. You are a champion among men, Jousens. Let's see. Will you be answering questions on stream? Absolutely. You guys. All right. Let's see. You need to give enemy ships the EMP attack as well. We will be going through a lot of different features that enemy ships have the ability to do. We want to make sure that the game, at its ground level, at its base, at its core, is a very enjoyable experience. If an enemy type feels really cheap, if they feel overpowered in a way, like you're just super decked out and then all of a sudden, boom, you're hit with an EMP and you're completely out for 5 seconds, which is enough time to get killed, that's not fun. I don't find that fun. We're not going to implement something like that. But if we can find some way to make an EMP work on an enemy, say like it disrupts your ability to lock on, it reduces your movement for like 30% or something, and you know, maybe some other things that happen, instead of it just be a complete kill of your ship, yeah, I think we could probably find different ways to do that. That's still very much in an exploration process. You'll see a lot of new enemy types come out and the features that they have in time. Nutty Australian over on Steam, is there any way we can help fund this even if the Kickstarter doesn't work out? We'll have more information after the Kickstarter if the Kickstarter doesn't work. Heck, we'll have information if it does work, if it works out. So yeah, just stay tuned. Don't freak out. Everything's good. Everything's gravy. All right, guys? It's totally great. You can't make awesome things without taking a couple risks. We knew things were going to be a little bit close here, but if you're passionate about this just as much as we are, just tell your friends, get on in, see what you can do in, you know, offering the right tier that's best for you. This is an opportunity for you to help develop this game with us. I want to stress this a lot. This is not a pre-order situation. This isn't you put money into it so you can have the game later. I mean, that's part of the benefit, is that you get the game later, but it's really about your voice being heard and implanting that within EVERSPACE 2. So if you want to be a part of this, get into the Kickstarter, because you have 5 days left, pal. Do it. Do it. Oh my goodness. Play the build, says lol2 Lameo. I absolutely will play the build. You don't have to dare me. We're going to actually dive into that in about 4 minutes. I just want to answer the rest of your guys' questions. It will be so good. Let's see. Let me actually check one other thing just to see if we got anything. Michael, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to plug that in because I would have to reset up the stream, unfortunately. So I think we're going to have to just keep going. If you have the specific, here, I'll text you. One second, ladies and gentlemen. And we will keep going into this. No problems. All right. Geekbite, howdy. Is it possible to explore some antique alien technology or ruins in space? Absolutely, but we'll have more information about that in the future. So for right now, you can't really dive into it. Oh, forget about it? Okay, Michael. Absolutely understood. All right, let me just close a couple things just to make the stream a little bit more fluid for y'all. Perfect. All right, let's get right back into this. And we're going to fly over to this unknown station instantaneously. So now we are way far away from that star, and we're right next to this planet just because we have the technology to do that. So you don't have to waste your time flying through space if you don't want to. Or you can absolutely enjoy sitting back in your spaceship waiting to get to your destination as you sip your coffee and read your newspaper in the future. You know, however that works. Perfect. So let's go ahead and see what's over at this trading outpost. How are we going to meet any of the classic characters if there are even any of them again? The Gaming Boffin asks a great question. So actually on the website, there does appear to be at least one character that looks pretty familiar. And I will say that if you acquired the EVERSPACE Encounters expansion, then they're probably going to be reminiscent of like that, but there's also going to be a lot of other different ways that characters can be met. We call them companions in EverSpace too. That's because they're not just mere characters that you're going to bump into and then they fly away and you can't really communicate with them anymore. Instead, now we have this home base location. Characters probably know about this home base that you have and may even come hang out with you in that process, and maybe even go out on missions with them if you select them to do so. But all of these components about companions, we'll have a lot more information about what that looks like and how that's going to form in the gameplay experience in time. But absolutely rest assured, there will be many different ways that you can meet unique characters and even have them join your side. Excellent. Yo, says Danim2K. What happens if you get intercepted during this flight? Azorka. Well, because I didn't, nothing happened. If I do, basically you just have a little mini challenge, at the moment at least. But interceptions are going to be a part of the gameplay experience that can offer a variety of different outcomes. One of the interceptions might just be a really super petty outlaw looking to just scrap your ship for a light reward, or it might be an absolutely decimating force that's caught your signal and's like, oh, we're going to end you because you are not supposed to be in this demilitarized zone at all. So you want to be very, very careful about ensuring you're getting through the various interdictions. Otherwise, things might be very hard for you as you're moving about the areas. Intercepted by 80 Weber drones. Oh my gosh, dude. Veritas, we're not cruel. Yikes. Alright, so we are going to check out this guy flying real close to that station. Man, who's driving that thing? That was a close call. I'm proud of you. Let's go dock here. So various stations are going to have interactions, possibly. Maybe through a manager who just needs a leak repaired on their station, much like you see here. It could also be various characters that want to join with you in order to accomplish a task. Or individuals that simply want you to do the dirty work for them, and then they'll pay you whenever you get back. This is going to be done through various job boards, and will be aligned to certain factions in the game. Now, factions is a term that's been thrown out there quite a lot. Some people are wondering how diverse and expansive that is. I want to make sure you guys are aware. We're not going into like super crazy deep. You have to have 17 spreadsheets in order to track your relationships with all of these different characters and factions and like all of this type of stuff. In fact, we are making the system of reputation pretty straightforward. All right, it's not going to be elaborate. It's going to be something you can just dive in and go, right? You have the GMB faction. That's an entire faction in and of itself. There might be certain pockets, kind of like sub-factions within. Maybe some are corrupt, whereas others are really noble about accomplishing their tasks. And you might have internal turmoil within the GMB that you might see conflicts brewing from there. Regarding the Outlaw is not just one faction in and of itself. We already have seen the Coalition faction labeled on a ship through our streamer Co-Carnage. So that kind of already implies that there's going to be multiple Outlaw factions. At least I hope it implies that. If it doesn't, spoiler alert, there's multiple factions of Outlaws. So you'll have different pockets of approaching and interacting with them as well. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. There's a lot more to that faction system that we'll be revealing in the future whenever we get things more established. But rest assured, you will have some pretty persistent interactions with those various peoples you encounter and what you do. In this particular base, it's just a GMB facility with a manager who needs a leak fixed. He needs a leak fixed. He doesn't need a leak. Excellent. So we're going to sell some of the stuff that we are picking up. Don't need a railgun. Selling all this. Most of these are what are just called tech resources. These various resources will have varying qualities pertaining to who you're selling it to. What I mean by that is that certain factions or certain bases are going to desire certain resources more than others. So say there's a station on like the outer edges of the Cedo system, and they absolutely need water. It's just something that they don't have a lot of. Their planet is completely desert. They maybe try some sort of methods to try and get that water, but they constantly need it. So if you go by and you sell them a couple things of water, they'll pay 1,000 credits per unit. Or if you go on the other end of the same system, there's another planet that's completely a water planet, and you try and sell it to them, they're like, 2 credits? We don't need this at all. So you'll have a lot of variation according to the economy, what's desired at the stations that you are selling it towards, stuff like that. So for now, we made a little bit of credit so we can look and see if there's anything to purchase. We have another damage booster. I'm not too interested in any of these types of things. We would be able to manage our elements a little bit better through here as well. Still working on this feature, of course. And finally, this is the missions that I was alluding to. These would be the various job boards you'd be able to pick up, dive in, find all the interactions that you would like with the various peoples that you want to align yourself with, and then return to them for a reward. Excellent. All right, Space Critters in EVERSPACE 2, can you goodie from them? We will have a little bit of a discussion about the critters of EVERSPACE 2 whenever we move into our recap portion of the stream. That will be, it's about 30 minutes from now, but there's a bit to talk about there, so no worries. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive out of this station, and we're going to go repair this section, this leak that this guy's talking about. Pretty nice, simple thing to do. Just repair a leak, and then you get assaulted by an enemy. Pretty common practice, right? Use this pulse laser for a little bit. I really like the pulse lasers in EVERSPACE 2. I really liked them in EVERSPACE 1. Ow! Rip headphone users. Madcap dropped a lot of mines, and we took a lot of damage. Our shields were completely depleted, and our armor suffered a lot of damage too. You can see those stats on the right side of the screen. Red, orange, and blue represents whole armor and shield respectively. Also want to take a quick time out and say thank you to LOL Hype, or LOL Buy, for in the Discord showcasing some of his thoughts pertaining to our UI. If you are not a part of the Discord and you like talking game design, get in there. It's an exciting good time. I think he did a really good job of capturing his thoughts on what we've done and maybe showed signs of improvement for us to accomplish. Working with you guys is how we're making this game. That's why we're doing the Kickstarter. So if that's the voice that you want to share, get in there, make some noise. All right. So we now have to take out these outlaw madcaps who are sucking down the bandwidth at this station. Oh my gosh. So let's use a couple missiles. Clean this guy up a little bit faster. This time we're going to avoid running into the mines. Perfect. And we've got one more madcap to go. Woo! We'll take him out and be on our way. Hello there. Excellent. So now that we've taken care of the madcaps, they've probably shot a couple more holes into the station itself. So we'll fix that right on up, and we'll see what happens next. Ooh. We got a rare resource, military deflector. So you'll have different tiers of commodities even in the game. In fact, there's a tier in the Kickstarter that allows you to design a legendary item. If you wanted to design a legendary commodity, you could absolutely do so. Alright, let's go repair up this station, then we'll answer a couple more of those questions, because I see you guys, and you're asking a lot, and I love it. I love it so much. So let's repair this leak. We'll dive into the next one. And then once we're done with this mission, I'm going to show you guys some stuff that hasn't been shown before. Whoop! It's fine. I know how to drive a starship, alright? This is also why we have shields. At least it's not a door. Perfect. Repaired all of those pieces. He asks us how much he owes us. So obviously we're going to say a pretty nice amount. We're going to get 1.2k credits for that work. And after he's done talking here, we are going to dock. We're going to repair up our armor. Just like so. Boom. We're also going to refill our missiles. Just like so. Boom. Doesn't cost us hardly any credits because the game's not balanced yet. Don't you worry. We will get to that in time. Excellent. So various missions like that are going to be transpiring across the stars in all different formats and ways. You're of course going to have your various bounty missions and hunting people down, and the swarms of enemies, enemy fleets maybe, stuff like that. But you're also going to have a lot of explorative missions, ones that are based on the mobility, your skill in handling your piloting. I'm definitely going to need to work on that, but thank goodness I do have shields. There are also going to be ways to sneak into bases, do a little bit of espionage and pulling vital intelligent information from opponents and stuff like that. So it's not just you blow stuff up and everything works out. There's going to be a lot more subtle ways that you can engage with and challenge yourself in the game of EVERSPACE 2. Now, I've been teasing you guys a bit. We want to see more stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and quit out of this particular build. And we're going to dive into something a little bit different. I hope you're excited. So let's answer a couple questions first, and then we are going to dive into the tutorial mission of EVERSPACE 2. You'll notice in the lower left that prototype build number is a bit different than it was before. Excellent. All right, let's see. Will there be trading mercantile economy? We are looking at our options pertaining to the economy of EVERSPACE 2. We don't want to rush ourselves too heavy into it right now. Obviously, we're still working on balancing a lot of different elements. In fact, we're not actually, that was a complete lie. Let me rephrase that. We're still working on creating content for the game. We're still building out models. We're still handcrafting the environments. We're still even working on the story, tweaking that, making it what it needs to be. After those elements have been implemented, then we will be in that balancing step. That's where the economy is really going to be playing in a big picture of EVERSPACE 2. Now, there are two specific ways that we can go about the economy. One is a static economy, which we have seen somewhat successful and also really exploitable in other games. And then we also have the dynamic economy, which can be a lot of fun to an extent. It can sometimes be really brutal, especially if you find something that you really enjoy, but then you get shafted because you keep on doing it over and over again, and sometimes it's not nearly as rewarding. So we're looking to find a really nice balance between them. So we kind of want to have a dynamically static economy, if that makes any sense. So, but rest assured, we'll be looking to see how that develops through the course of development, along with you guys. That'll probably be in a phase where you will be able to provide your feedback, whether it's in the alpha, the beta, or the early access. So if you're passionate about it and you want it to be the best it can possibly be, jump in on the Kickstarter, because you only have 5 days left. All right, let's see. Do you think other planets and alien races have their own cats that they can create memes of? 100%. This is confirmed. Why would you even question that? Fly through 10 doors without dying challenge. Oh, man, that is crazy. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Oh, we got one more question from Pivori. Hidden wormhole systems in EVERSPACE 2. Oh, of course there's going to be hidden secrets. Of course. You said wormholes. We have wormholes in EVERSPACE 1. I would be really surprised if we didn't see any in EVERSPACE 2. Excellent. Let's do a new game and show you what this is all about, yeah? We're pushing this button in 3, 2, 1. The intro mission to EVERSPACE 2. Here we go. Hold position until I give the signal. Wingman, advance and secure the corridor. This is your instructions from the foreman. Understood, we say. Well, this looks very different than what we're used to. It's an interior space. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and fly in here. Quite like this ship, actually. Nice boosting. All right. So there's an infestation up ahead. Now, you'll immediately note that there are these placeholders. This gives you a little bit of sign of where we're at in development. These anemones are absolutely going to be living, breathing organisms. They're going to be a bit grotesque, just covering all of these different internal elements here. We're just going to start clearing some of this out. For right now, they're very static and boring looking. I can assure you it's a work in progress. Alright, looks like we can't get here. Great, it's totally clogging up the entrance. Deal with it, says the foreman. So we're going to deal with it. Perfect. Done! The path is clear. Good! Opening the entrance to the cave now. Excellent. Ooh. I uploaded the coordinates to the asteroid's core. Just follow the markers on your HUD and don't stray. Ah! Oh my goodness! I didn't even know that was in there. Andy? Andy on the development team, you jerk. Oh my goodness gravy. Let's just keep going. What a punk. Here, there's Hans Christian. Oh my gosh. Maybe it was Marco. I don't know. Somebody on the team. You guys are punks, alright? How dare you? Oh my goodness. So let's keep exploring this place. How did I miss that when I was playtesting this? Alright, let's keep going. You guys want to see more. Alright, multiple signals popping up. Looks like derelict mining ships. Permission to stray. No need. I'm sending in the engineer to have a look. On my way, says the engineer. So we see a couple of these wrecks. Right now, they don't really look like they're wrecked. Again, it's a work in progress build. But you can fly up to them and you can search them in order to grab various elements from them. So we're going to go ahead and take this loot. Also, I'm going to pause in the inventory screen because I know that you guys want to see a little bit of what's different going on there because it looks a little bit different. So you'll see that just the UI in general has shifted a bit right in here. We have these different setups here that you can click on. These represent how you can organize the loot. You also have it for your specific cargo. You can't really see any changes as of right now, but this is the time you acquired it, putting rarities first. This is organizing by type. This is by quantity. This is by price. And this is having traded it or not. So various different ways that you can organize your stuff on the fly. The equipment also shifted very slightly, basically just consolidated things instead of having them spread out. We're going to be playing around with this quite a bit further. But each one of these things you're able to click on and then see other options you have as you're looking into them. The modules don't do that because there's only one type of each, but yeah. So you can see just that alone, you can see how the UI is shifting and changing already in the current state of the game. All right, we have one more ship to look at. Hopefully there's no more pumpkins that jump out. It's gravy. It's ridiculous. All right. I want to see one question, one comment right here before we go into this new location. Maester Silvio says, while a static economy will always have a meta, it is better from a design perspective for consistency throughout development and user experience testing. Of course. Of course. Yes, you are already speaking much sense. I'm going to very briefly read through. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Everything you're saying is spot on. Rest assured that will be something that we keep going, moving forward. So very good, very good. It's always nice to see a very intelligent, very solid community supporting the development of our game. So thank you for your comments. Excellent. Let's go in here. All right. I've reached the entrance to the... E9, stay back. We have a rogue drone in here. So we have an outlaw drone. I'm keeping the core on lockdown until you've dealt with it, says the foreman. Now you notice this guy doesn't even attack. This is your first tutorial of following a target and shooting it. It doesn't even do anything back to you. Boom. Dead. Done. What is a broken drone doing in a place like this? Moving into the core now. Oh, Joey! Maester Sylvia! Oh my goodness. Of course. Hey, Joey. It's great to see ya. What a dude. All right. We're in the core. This whole thing stinks. Now I'm a good person, so I'm not gonna say all the words here. Did you did you notice that these wreckages are G&B crew like us? That foreman is leading to some deep shenanigans. Man, I really hope you just said that over secure channel. Of course. We're a lot deeper in outlaw territory than we should be. All right. Language. Absolutely. I'm one of those guys, all right? You can pick on me all you want. My boss won't hold back, let me tell you what. Freaking dang. All right. So, this place needs power. We need to improvise. Now, you'll also notice there's a lot of blue glowing going on. This is absolutely work in progress as well, because that's really bright. We want to make sure that this is super dark and creepy and probably full of freaking jack-o'-lanterns that pop up and scare you. Gosh dang it, Andy/Hans Christian. So we're going to fly over here. We have this wreckage, and we have this energy cell that's 48%. There's an old energy cell with one of the wrecks. My scans show it's still half charged. So we're going to go pick this up, and we're going to take this over to the central location. We're going to plug it in. Boom, just like that. This is a nice little tutorial of the grapple mechanic, of course, of your ship. Fly over here to this other one. First, let's check out this wreck. Maybe there's something on this wreck. Quit locking on over there. Thank you. Nope. Did I mention it's work in progress? Nothing on board. Excellent. I'm glad we took our time to do that. We'll take this energy cell onto the middle area as well. Plug it in, and let's see what happens. Done. Generator is back online and path is clear, so lights are turning on in here for everybody to start working. Foreman says, let's get to work, people. We've got quotas to fill. Concentrate on the rich yields first. If we're quick about it, I'll be personally signing your release papers today. Awesome. All right, so now these glowing things are going off, and everyone's kind of freaking out. What's going on? These things are scanning us, and they're sending out our coordinates. That's probably not a good thing. Probably not a good thing at all. So now we have to shoot them down. Foreman is putting the place on lockdown. So we're just going to do what we can. Take out a couple of them. Maybe we can get them all. Oh, that new sound design. Oh, oh. I love it. Perfect. So basically the foreman's saying, if you want to erase your tab, you gotta go where it pays, and the engineer's like, bro, this is a suicide mission, and so now there's all this shaking occurring, all this type of stuff, and engineer says, something tells me it's far too late to clear out all the sensors, which we already did. So now we get to see what happens next. Oh, snap! So here we have a bunch of Weber drones pouring in. Veritas Nightmare! Oh my gosh, Weber drones galore. So we'll take these bad boys out. They're trying to lock in place all of our dudes. Thankfully, they're not too hard because they don't have any ability to fight back. But now we have the combat drones. Just imagine some really intense music here. We'll fire some missiles at these guys, take them down. We've got this last outlaw drone. Boom. Done and done. So we ask if everyone's all right. Maybe there would be an additional mission flag if everyone does come out okay or not. We're looking into possibilities like that, little bonus, little side quests and stuff like that. We'll see how things develop. But looks like we're locked in here. The outlaws have completely locked the place down except for the borehole. Maybe we could bypass that. Engineer's like, that's not hard to hack. Done. Beautiful. So now we can fly through. So the foreman tells us, we are the wingman, you go first. Just wait until I get my hands on that useless escort out there. Here we go. EVERSPACE 2. They're slaughtering the escort, says the engineer. Everyone stay close to the fog field and avoid attention. I'm taking the rear. Then there's an explosion and the ship goes flying by us. Bollocks, I'm hit. Engine's hit. And then these guys fly away, even though we're like, hey, we need help back here. E9's burning. And the foreman's like, he knew what he signed up for. Boom. That's it. Oh my gosh, it ends right there. Tantalizing, I know, but that is the demonstration of the tutorial mission as of right now. There's a lot more to come. There's going to be a lot more to tweak, refine those elements, of course, but that is the overarching way that you'll be interacting. As we see this outlaw destroyer just decimate a GMB freighter, my goodness. Looks like GMB are warping in and duke it out with him, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that little ride. So you're going to see a lot of interior spaces like that throughout the game. It's not just one little pocket of an asteroid that you can like weave in and out of. Very elaborate, full mission structures flying inside of locations. They could be caves. They could be asteroids. When I say caves, I mean on a planet, by the way. I'm not talking about like a cave in an asteroid. I'm talking about like surface level. You're going to have internal spaces of stations. Very massive ships, of course. There's going to be a lot that you'll be able to interact with and fly into. It's not just a game out in open space all the time. So, hope that gave you just a nice little taste about what's to come, what we're working on. Woo! Very, very good. I am checking out... Oh, Michael said hit Shift L for more pumpkins. Can I do it right here? Here, I want to see what this is all about. I'm gonna try Shift L. I wonder if I accidentally bumped that or something. Cruelty. Cruelty. Oh my gosh. Well, now that I've scared everybody's pants off, oh my gosh. There is also an action freeze in the game. No, I didn't really show this off too much. Actually, I don't even have controls over it. So we'll dive back into the other version of the game to talk more about things there. But, oh my gosh. Terrifying nightmare fuel. Thanks, Andy, or Hans Christian, or Marco, or whoever plugged that in. I secretly hate you right now. Excellent. So we're going to move back. Actually, we're at a good time to take a quick break from gameplay, and we're going to talk about what we've been up to in our Rockfish news section. So give me just 1 second. We're going to pull up some things. Excellent. So here we are. Oh, whoops. One second. I need to move around some chats real briefly so that I can see all of your beautiful comments. Oh, I see a really good question right there from Tulameo. He says, so there's a continue button, saving included in the demo already. We are working on those elements. It's not quite where we want it to be, but rest assured, when we get everything locked in place, what we really want is to make sure that you're not losing your loot whenever the saving system works or doesn't work. So for example, if you duke it out with some sort of major enemy type that you encounter in the game, you take him out, he drops some crazy loot, and then one of his henchmen takes you out and you die and you have to start from a checkpoint. The loot you didn't pick up, or the loot you did pick up, do you lose that when you restart from the checkpoint, or do you not lose it? We feel that we don't want to take that away from you. Like, that loot randomly drops for you. It should be yours, damn it. So that's how we feel about it. And hopefully through that process, we're going to make a saving system that feels healthy, that feels good, instead of something that feels like it gyps you and yoinks away the stuff that you're finding. So we're still working on those elements. Okay, so let me move to a screen that isn't black. Perfect. There we go. So you'll see that our funding has reached 71%. It's still climbing up there. So this is converted into US monies, by the way. I am from America. I am the American community ambassador for Rockfish Games, even though we are based in Hamburg, Germany. I know it's a little confusing. I know. I work from my studio, the Rockfish studio in America, helping out the team in all things. But rest assured, we are all in this together, making things happen. So if otherwise this looks like it's 450,000 euros, just converted to American dollars, it's basically 500,000. So that's where it's at. 5 days to go. We have a lot of backers. You guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for your support. So, we already did the tutorial mission. Starting soon. Silliness. Let me just change this news text briefly. Boop. Done. Perfect. Just like we wanted it to do. So we did have an update drop earlier today, which was behind the scenes for level design, station modules, and creative rewards. Now, I actually haven't had the chance to read through this today. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the details that's going on with my house. Spoiler alert, everybody's sick. So instead, we're just going to dive in. I'm going to do a quick read, and then I'm going to give you a summary of it. That sound good? So if you guys were able to read this, awesome. If you haven't, well, let's just go through it together. It'll be fun. All right. Also, checking one more time for anyone with comments. Did I already mention that I love the ComHub background for the Rockfish Games and News segment? Good! Good, because I intentionally did it that way. I felt like it made sense to have a ComHub in the background of giving you communication, right? Excellent. I'm glad somebody got it. Oh my gosh, Tulameo, you're a rock star. All right. So, Malti, or is it Malti? I don't know how to pronounce German names. Oh man, I'm gonna get made fun of so hard because I did that wrong. They'll probably put another pumpkin in my face somewhere. Oh goodness gravy. So, level designer is gonna talk to us about how he approaches level design and the huge space stations that you'll see in the future. Tulameo, it's pronounced Malti. Thank you for just typing the name. That helps so much. Should have been a censor drone instead, you guys. All right, let's talk about this. This is the first thing that's super important. A lot of you guys have been like, oh, what about the Kickstarter? Okay, check this out. So, because it is crunch time, and because we absolutely want to work with the community, this is something that we've said a bajillion times, and we don't want to sell out to some sort of exclusivity deal. Like, we're in this with you guys. This is for you. It's by you. We want to give you more opportunities to make this more of your own. So in order to do that, we've opened up more creative rewards. Now, these are for those who have deep pockets and want to just throw your monies at us. So let's cover what all of this is. I'm going to move back just a little bit here so that you can kind of see more of all that's good. So the first thing to talk about are some space critters, just some concept art here. For those of you who haven't seen this, basically random bugs in space, right? And maybe not actually bugs, maybe like some really creepy other sort of things, like living rock sort of beetles and stuff. I don't know. Lots of different things. This is your concept sketch for cave crawlers. Perfect. So these are the new reward tiers that we have opened up. Starting at 3,000 euros, you can be the creator of an alien plant that is located in the game space. Maybe it's something that's dotted all around the demilitarized zone. Maybe it's very rare. Maybe it's something that's even an endangered species out in space that's only located at one location. You will be able to help name and design that alien plant. That also includes the lore of that plant, where it might be found and what it might do, provided we give you that creative approval, because we need to make sure that it works within our game world. So you can't have like a little baby plant that eats massive spaceships as they fly by, for example. Or maybe we could find a way to make that work. My point is that we will have a little bit of flexibility with making what you want in this game happen. So that's the first tier. The second tier is Space Robot. You can help name and design a not Maurice space robot in the game. All of this includes the Party Edition rewards. We might actually talk about briefly what those Party Edition rewards are so you guys are informed about what that means, because there's a lot more to these than just the gold here that I'm reading through. But you'll be able to, this robot, it might be a specific character that you can encounter. It could be kind of a general robot that you see everywhere. It could be, there's a lot of different creative ways that you could approach this tier as well. Next, we have the Outlaw Boss, which is still available. We have one big boss guy already, I believe. Maybe we have two. I can't remember, actually. So this allows you to name and design an outlaw boss. And within that, this also allows you to plug in, if I recall correctly, this allows you to take a screenshot of yourself, and we will put your face in either as the boss or a henchman for him, something along those lines, so that you can literally put yourself into the game. Yeah? Awesome. You'll also get a prominent special thanks and credits, studio visit, blah, blah, blah. Excellent. Next tier, 6,000, is the Alien Creature. This is a bit different from an alien plant, as plants and creatures are two wildly different things. We won't break out what flora and fauna mean, but hopefully you have done your science in school. Let's keep going. The naming and designing of an alien creature, again, this is going to be according to the creative freedoms that we can provide you. Go hog wild here, guys. Like, we're able to really do a lot into this world. We want to see your mark on it. So if you want to dive into these, if you want to invest in our product and you want to leave that lasting mark, now is the opportunity, because we just opened these up. We got a side character, right? We got a side character. An entire character that could have its own branching missions for you. It could have somebody that you just keep recurring that, you know, is always at the job boards, for example. It could be like there's a lot of possibilities here. It could be a character that you are constantly meeting at the home base. Like, maybe it's even a side character that's in the main story that, well, that's not really a side character. That might be a little too much. But again, really great opportunities here. Put your mark on the game. Also, prominent special thanks and credits, studio visit. Mission Control has been sold out at this point, so we have those respective people help naming and designing missions that will be in the game. So thank you all for your love and support. And then we have Relic of the Ancients. People have been asking, are we going to see the Ancients again? Is that something that we will see? Well, I mean, I don't really know how to not spoil anything by saying you get to help name and design a Relic of the Ancients here. My goodness. So if you guys are not familiar with the Ancients at all, let's do a little bit of a lore, just a little bit of lore conversation here in EVERSPACE 1. The Ancients are a mysterious alien race that are kind of known as the precursors to the Okar. The Okar worship them basically as gods for their creation. And the ancients leave behind these very massive structures that you actually encounter in EVERSPACE 1. The first time you encounter it, you probably died, but you found a glyph as well by navigating the internals of the station and possibly even jumped through this mystical portal that basically was a jump gate. These various glyphs could be applied to your ship over the course of an entire run that would change some sort of element about the run itself. I think one of the most common ones would be the I think it's literally called Ancient Warp Gates or something like that. The very first one you get, it allows you to see other ancient structures on the map, which are now going to be randomly generating through the game because you've unlocked that feature. Lots of little spoilers there, but this tier, Relic of the Ancients, allows you to design just that. Naming and design. Maybe you can even impart a little bit of lore surrounding this relic of the ancients. Something very mysterious. You can be put in charge of that. Yeah! That's how much you can dive in and help us through this development process. If you want to put a slice of you in here, look at these opportunities, folks. Yeah, they're a little pricey. They are, absolutely. But this is how we work with you. You put your money where your mouth is. You design stuff for us. You support us so we deliver on that, what you want to create. That's how it works. Bear in mind that a lot of effort goes into such design processes. Perfect, right there. And it's also exclusive. This is why Kickstarters, any crowdfunders really, are very, very different from pre-order statuses. Pre-order statuses are the game's already made, you're just going to get it early, or you're going to get some sort of freebie with it. This is not a pre-order. I'm going to stress that 1.5 billion times, guys. You have 5 days left to be a part of the development of this game. I'm going to keep hitting that. I'm going to keep kicking that dead horse if I have to. Like, we are in the home stretch. You're not going to have this opportunity show up again after the Kickstarter. There might be little ways to contribute, but it's not going to be nearly as much of an investment as it is in this moment. So if you are passionate about this, you want to make some really crazy content in the game, now is the time. Now is the time. All right. So now we're going to go to Malte. I think it's Malte or Malt. Whatever. Level designer. Oh my gosh. He's going to hate me so hard tomorrow at work. All right. Regarding all things level design. Major rule. From the very beginning, it was clear that our ship movement would be very fast, like ridiculously fast. I am reading this verbatim because it's important. If I had to describe it, I would use the word dancing. We had a lot of really good feedback pertaining to this in EVERSPACE 1. The ship movement is like dancing in space. And we wanted to push that narrative even further. Even further. So, game mechanics reflect the level design, blah, blah, blah. So you see here, we have like this method where you can fly through this internal space. This is actually something similar to what was in EVERSPACE 1. As you see, the colonial derelicts kind of have the same sort of structure about them. But being able to weave and change and move about, no, it's not realistic by any stretch of the imagination, a movement in space, but it's cool. And so that's what we want to do. We love how it feels. It's fun. And that's kind of our movement forward, literally, in how we are addressing EVERSPACE 2. And here Multi even says, like, most space games take a more realistic approach. He feels that it isn't fun enough. And I'm inclined to agree. I think a lot of you guys are also in agreement there. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't have enjoyed EVERSPACE 1. And if you do enjoy the very critical, realistic controls, like a space simulation experience would, I also want to take the moment just to mention, you can turn off your inertia dampeners in EVERSPACE 2. So cheers to you. Your feedback is working. We are going to do that with EVERSPACE 2. Float about to your leisure, but just know this is not a realistic portrayal of space, and there's a lot to run into, so be careful with the power we give you. All right. We're going to keep moving through this. Experience like a skate game. a Formula One track in space. That's kind of where this design goes. This is also, you've probably seen me go through the little race track in EverSpace 2's demo. It's not anything too crazy dynamic, but rest assured, we are looking into some very fun ways to challenge your ability to move your ship. Do the tango in your ship, if you will. Ooh. Oh, that felt wonderful. More little showcasing of how you can move about a structure right here. Can I do that as you rush towards a mining station being followed by enemy spaceships whose missiles just pass by way too close for comfort? Yes, you can, and frankly, you should. So here we're just talking more about shapes, silhouettes, stuff like that feel inviting or maybe distracting to the player. That allows you to dive in, know where you need to go instantly without having to do too much moving around. I mean, this is pretty common tactic. Like, if you see the side of an asteroid and there's a little glowing bit at one part, kind of probably tells you, hey, you can go in there, or there's something unique at that point. It's just really basic sort of elements here that we're kind of focused in on to make sure that you can maximize your enjoyment with this form of navigating the game space. Let's see. Don't want you to lose the sense of speed. This is actually right here. I need to talk about this because this is important. It's fun to also break this rule for things like interior asteroid caves, but space is your playground. If it looks like you can use certain spots to hide from enemy fire or take a fast shortcut through a docking bay to surprise the enemies on the other side, then you should be able to do exactly that. And that's where the flow of movement gets to be fun as heck. Language. It's the sort of fun that will be a really close companion to other mechanics, which will find their way into the upcoming alpha and beta builds. Look at that. We actually see this structure. We actually see that bad boy in the build, in the current build, whenever you have to chase down the broken drone. We can actually show you that if we want to later. In closing, never liked the idea of huge space stations that are simply impressive by their size alone. I'm inclined to agree. We want it to be very textured, feel like it's meaningful, all that type of stuff. But here we are addressing a larger station. As you can see the modular pieces used. We know that we had an individual asking us, a couple individuals asking, like, if I were to support the construction of a station in the game, making modular pieces come together, what does that look like? Kind of like this. Having all these different pieces that you can interchange and put together and make larger, smaller, whatever, really design it and make it your own. There's a lot of different ways that we can customize and build a station, in fact, in EverSpace 2 through development. I know some of you are already thinking, oh, can we design a base in EverSpace 2, like in the actual gameplay experience? Maybe if we got a lot more funding. As of right now, not likely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know what can happen. So I'm not going to say no, but I absolutely can't say yes. Excellent. So, getting childhood memories of sitting in front of a huge pile of colorful bricks? You're not alone. Boom. Right there. So finally, this is just talking about bigger environments with the side effect of more opportunities, which we want to do as we develop the game. Huge stations like city hubs, example, like accepting quests, meeting new NPCs, all that type of stuff. I'm sure that you guys have seen the trailer. If you haven't, what are you doing? Go watch the trailer. There is a massive city structure that you can see. There's not a lot of detail on it yet, but there's a lot more coming, obviously, through the course of our development. And we are just really excited for you to TLDR, wee pew pew boom. Should be good. Cheers, Malte. And you can follow him on Twitter, which I encourage you to do so, because that man is hilarious, at Stranged. Stanged. Stan G3D. I don't know what he's trying to do there. It's STANG 3D. Stang 3D. I don't know how to pronounce it. We also had some really nice latest streams and Let's Plays. We had one from, oh my goodness, Splattercat Gaming. There we go. If you haven't seen that, definitely show him some love on his video. You can find all of this with the updates. We're not going to watch this video on the stream. We'll have more to share on Friday, I'm sure. Maybe another little video to go with. Also, don't miss the stream today, where I'm showing the work in project tutorial mission. Oh, we've already covered that. If you guys missed that, we can go through it again a little bit later in the stream. But for now, what I really want to do is I want to dive back into the demo build. And we are going to, we're going to have a little bit more fun. We're going to show off a little bit more that you guys haven't seen. There we go. Perfect. Love the golden station designs. Ah, thank you so much. I think that they are coming together really, really well. What rude things did I miss in chat as I was speaking to all of this? Will we see Elon Musk's car flying through space? Joey, you're a silly man, maybe. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Control with 2 LLs. 2 LLs. 2 LLs. Not sure what 2 LLs mean. Oh my gosh. Malte is actually here. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Nothing but love, seriously. What a rock star. He's over on Twitch, if anyone's wondering which chat we're looking at. What a champion. Liquid courage is down. Let's dive back into this. We want to show a little bit more of what the demo has to offer and talk about some of those design principles that Malte actually was talking about, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to our Interceptor. Looks pretty reminiscent of the original Interceptor in EVERSPACE 1. Of course, however, this is a bit more beefy. There's a lot more fine detail work on the ship. If you guys missed it, you need to check out the latest vlog that went over the ship design and all the details that went along with it. Maybe it wasn't the vlog, maybe it was the recent update. Either way, check out the updates, check out the vlogs. We're showing a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of those nuances, a lot of those subtleties of how we are making this game, not using the models from the previous one and just like plugging them in and being lazy developers. No, like we are creating new. We are building up, building fresh, the freshest. Absolutely. So we're going to go and fly this Interceptor out into space. We're going to see what it provides. Oh, Geekbite, thanks. Very good. All right, so we want to get right into the mix of things. We can't... Actually, we can do this. Ha! Plot twist. Nailed it. We're going to fly over to this outlaw location that's right near us. Outlaw turf is what it says. Now, we are really close to the atmosphere of this site, but we cannot go down to this particular planet in this particular build of the game. So let's go ahead and explore a little bit of what's here and just talk a little bit about what Malte's talking about with environmental design through this particular ship that's been completely and utterly wrecked. Let's go ahead and speed up here. We have an evacuee that says some raiders blew up my ship. Right, so now we have some bad guys who are coming to fight us. Whoop! Duck under. So we have a couple different tools at our disposal on the Interceptor. We have a coil gun, we have a scatter gun, which we're actually gonna utilize pretty highly by hiding behind some sites and whatnot. If we can get a close range shot. Oh, we missed! There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, it's a little hard to land a shot, but when you do, it's pretty devastating. Pretty devastating. Feels good. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll see in the action freeze mode, you can also change the depth of field. Or rather, excuse me, what is this called? I forget the term. Basically, you're going to have a lot of different ways to change how things are working. You're going to have your depth of field is one option. Your I'm forgetting the terminology here, folks. Like your color corrections, your filters, all that type of stuff. You're going to have a lot of that flexibility here in order to modify to your liking. Man, you can even see the effects on the screen itself. Ah, that's nice. Perfect. Let's take out some of these guys. Oh, actually, let's take out that armor drone who keeps giving everybody armor in the area. Much better. Now, without any armor, it's going to be a lot easier to take these guys out. Oh, I was really hoping that would one-shot him. That's fine. Alright, now with them taken care of, we're going to go ahead and fly back over to this wreckage. Where's the wreckage? It's behind us. And you'll see here that this wreckage, it's static. You're able to fly in and out. We don't have a lot of energy to work with boosting. But you can see that if we wanted to get really crazy when navigating around it, we could. Especially as we level up and we have more movement tools on this particular ship. Or maybe if we chose a smaller ship that was far faster and more agile, for example. So we're going to go ahead and take this escape pod over here while those guys are just going the wrong direction. Perfect. Aperture. Aperture. Thank you. F-stop. Exposure. Oh my goodness. You guys are great. So we're going to take this escape pod to this base. We're doing what's called heaving. Now the controls of heaving something versus just a traditional grapple are actually different. I know that you can't really tell the difference. But whenever you grapple something, it's basically like you have full control over your ship and you can do whatever you want, really, with your motion. But when you heave something, it's kind of dictating your movement. So you have to, like, move your ship around the object. It's a little bit of a minigame challenge of movement and controls. If you guys experienced that at a convention, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, no worries about it. I'm sure you'll see it eventually. Let's take this earth line, and then let's go look inside of this location. Hey, I didn't hit the door. Guys, I'm getting better. We'll take all the loot in here. Perfect. Fly on back out, and we're going to see what this trader has to offer. Beautiful. Needs more scatter, 2880. Veritas, don't you worry. We're going to make sure that we're bringing back a lot of different elements from EVERSPACE 1. Jake Draken. If Kickstarter campaign fails, will there be an alternative to support Rockfish Games? We are looking for many different ways that you will be able to support us after the Kickstarter succeeds or fails. So yeah, we'll have more information about that in time. No worries whatsoever. Let's dive into the shop here. We're going to go ahead and sell some of this junk. Oh, this is better. Maybe it's not all junk, alright? Sell this earth wine we just got. Is there anything... Oh, actually, this is a better scatter gun, so we're going to go ahead and just buy that one and equip it. Nano injectors are actually really nice. You know what? Let's just go ahead and swap that. Purchase that one. Perfect. So now we have nanobots and we have a nano injector. Excellent. I feel a little bit better. And now let's go destroy this base. Yeah? We missed an autocannon. It's fine. Let's go destroy this place. Do backers get this build you are playing right now? Says Unreal Tournaman. Yes. Yes. If you back us at the, I think it's the standard tier. I think it's 40. I think it's at 40. then yes, you will get the demo that is going out to all the conventions that you're playing there, as well as the one that I'm currently playing. You will just get it for free to tide you over until the alpha starts next year. That will move into the beta, which will then move into early access. More Mo WO on Steam asks, can you land on planets in the game? You have in-Atmo areas that you'll be able to fly down to planets. You do not have EVA, so you won't be landing on and getting out of a vehicle to get into another vehicle, stuff like that. But you'll be able to fly down to bases, maybe into bases, into caves, various networks of that status and nature. And we are experimenting with how gravity will affect the game as well at those sites. Basically, we want to make sure that it's fun and functional. If it is really annoying, we're not going to do gravity, even if it means it doesn't feel realistic with items just floating in the sky, right? But we want to make sure that it works in the game space, as opposed to offers the most realistic portrayal of everything happening. Because obviously a spaceship probably wouldn't look like this without any boosters on its front or side or anywhere else. It looks more like a jet in space. We understand that. It's intentional design. Also, don't tell George Lucas. Alright, let's keep taking out the different components of this base. Pew, pew. I really like the scatter gun. I don't know how many of you guys have seen my EVERSPACE 1 streams at all. I really like the scatter gun. It's just a feel-good weapon. Alright. A little bit of pew-pews. Hold it down. We're going to wait for that opening to show up. We'll try again. There we go. Much better. I took all your loot. Oh, scattergun doesn't do a lot of damage to shields, as you just saw there. But when you drain the shields, if you can get a shot on the hole, it deals a lot of damage. Beautiful. Alright, that guy's taken out. We have successfully destroyed the external side of this base. I'm sure that there would be more to do if we were able to, say, venture inside, but that will have to be later. For now, what we can do is we can go underneath with a little bit of finagling some stuff that's in the way. So we're going to go ahead and show off more of the grappling mechanic here. We're going to take this piece of debris and just whoop! See you later. We'll also grab this one here. Pull it out. Oh, these things are heavy. Could be used as a nice little shield in combat, by the way, and then you could throw it, and the physics will, in fact, do damage to your opponents based on its movement speed. So that's fun. And underneath here, we've got just a couple outlaw drones and whatnot. Nothing too crazy. But it just gives you an example of some of the things you'll be able to find if you go snooping about. A lot of opportunities for you. Also, I apparently really like running into things. Alright. Some basic resource management, or collection here. Shoot to loot. Some people have asked, will there be other ways to mine resources in the game? Maybe. Guess that depends on how things move forward with. But we do, I mean, we've made advanced mining mechanics before. If anyone of you are familiar with Galaxy on Fire 1 or 2, you know that. You know the drill. Ha! Puns are fun! So, definitely not outside our realm of possibility. We'll have to see where things go through the course of development, though. Alright, let's go ahead and head to the star. A little bit more to show, and we'll answer a couple more questions. Is travel strictly by jump gates, or will there be a cater drive type thing? So, basically we can fly around like this in the vastness of space. This is in solar system travel right here. As of right now in the demo, there is only a warp gate at this location. This location would allow you to travel to that solar system, for example. Each one of these that's connected allows you to travel to them. You'll also notice that there's a solar system that's not connected to anything. How do we get there, you might ask? That will be answered another time. There are many forms of travel known in the lore of EVERSPACE. Not just EVERSPACE 2, but also with EVERSPACE 1. And there could be even more that are discovered. Who knows? Aside from, the team and myself. Let's go ahead and sneak by this interdiction. Or you know what, let's get caught. Let's get caught. I'll show you what happens with one of these. Maybe this will be a big bad boy, or maybe it'll be a really light, easy one. Who knows? Looks like a couple drones. We have an armored drone and a standard drone. Pretty simple. If I can fire at my target. Perfect. Alright. Now sometimes when you get interdicted, there might be like an asteroid that the guys are fighting from. Like that's where they're like pulling you in from, and then they're like hiding and waiting for you to get closer. Maybe they have a jump suppressor there, so then they really screw you over. That one was real basic, real easy. Which I'm fine with, so that way we can get to the star and start talking about more stuff. Did the engineer die? Grindel asks. Oh, Grindel. Oh, Grindel. You'll have to find out when the story reveals itself. Another interception right here. Oh my goodness. I think it would be really funny to have an interception right next to the star. So let's get really close. Let's get really close to this star. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so now we're like insanely close to this star. We have to fight this drone. So you might be wondering, like, oh, okay, are we gonna like burn to death? Can we fly into the star? So we're gonna do this for a moment, just because. I want to show you what happens if you leave the area that you are in. We are approaching the world of EVERSPACE 2 in two capacities. One of which shows you the location you are in. So like this unknown signal, look how close to that star we are. We're right there. So whenever we fly to the outer bounds of it, it turns us around so that we remain in it. However, we can absolutely fly into stellar objects if we're not careful in this mode of transportation. Now, we want to fly to the location here. Where we are, in fact, very close to the star. But we are in this area with all of its interactions, all of its possibilities. So let's go see what's at this base. And then we're going to go talk to some scientists and see what other little missions we have in this area, just to show you guys more about what you can see, what you can do in the space that is EVERSPACE 2. Any more questions did I miss? Tulamo says, yeah, he dead. You don't know the story. Comes back as the bad guy in the DLC. You guys. Alright. So let's see. We could get a shield ST, or we could just sell our mine launchers. Let's see. Better sensor with precision. Let's go ahead and equip that and sell the old one. Signal circulators. Tuned energy core. Alright. We'll equip that one. Small nanobots. Can those fit on? No. Oh, because these are mediums. Silly me. Let's go ahead and just replace those. Now we have way too many nanobots. But that's not a problem, right? Let's see. A couple new energy cores. Actually, I like the recharge rate. We're going to go ahead and buy and equip this one. Sell the old one. Oh, this one's even better. But we really want this valuable cargo unit. So now that we have this slot filled, we actually have more cargo slots that we can hold more gear with. Oh, we also have a sticky turret. Oh, I love the sticky turret. We're just going to go ahead and buy and equip this. And sell the other one. I love the sticky turrets. They're so much fun. And, you know what, let's show off the blaster. And call that good. So here's the blaster, much like the Fusion Blaster in EVERSPACE 1. Alright, let's get to where we need to go. We've got this Outlaw Madcap. Teleport over to him. Pretty good scattergun shot. Pretty bad scattergun shot. There we go. And just pummel him with our blaster, which is really hard at hitting your target unless you're up close or unless your target is large. Can you drill asteroids and? Says Griff On from Steam. Hello, welcome. There are going to be an assortment of ways that you can interact with and... Oh, we found a legendary item. Interact with and utilize mining. That is still very much a work in progress, so I can't really show anything, but what I can say is that we'll have a lot more information on mining as a whole in the future of EverSpace 2's development. So, great question. Tulol Tulameo. I don't know the story, do I? Did I share that with you at a convention? Oh man. Now you're putting me on the spot, Tulol Tulameo. And yes, I do sometimes share little tidbits to you guys who come to conventions. It happens, okay? Because we trust you at the conventions. I guess. You want to know more? Meet us at a convention. Ooh, sneaky. Alright, let's dive into this asteroid cave. Whoop! There's me being terrible at flying. Don't worry about that. We also have these big freight containers, which we can haul as well. We could use this in combat if we really wanted to, or we could use it to make our flying around really bad so we just take a lot of damage. Alright, we are done with this container. See you later. But what we want to do, let's actually go over here. Here we have just a very simple example of an uphill slope. Little race challenge. Of course I missed a ring. Very basic, just flying on the outskirts of an asteroid here. Maybe you'd see something like this in one of those internal spaces that we showcased the tutorial mission in, for example. Maybe it could be against a lot of other NPCs. A lot of different ways that we would go about crafting this for you. Oh. Actually, I didn't even know this was here. What? This is the first time I found this. Give me that beam laser. I'll take it. Alright, let's go find these scientists, see what they're up to. And then we'll give the tutorial mission one more swing through and then answer any questions that you guys have. So we'll do a double showcase of that tutorial mission. If you missed it, just sit tight. We'll go right through it again. How about that? Let's see. We got a beam laser that I'm not too thrilled with. We'll take the shield ST. Sure, why not? But we absolutely want this Benker Comet. Oh my gosh, it's insane. It's insane. And a powerful coil gun. Oh my gosh. We are just getting decked out. So this scientist is asking us to go basically activate various elements near the star to find more research on it. Because they want to know if this star's good or if it sucks. And right now they kind of think that it's good. Or at least they're convincing me that they think it's good. But more on that when we run into them later. For now, let's accomplish the task that they have on hand. And see what we can do. Also, I want to point out, just very quickly, all of the text that you're seeing at the bottom screen, you know, I'm not reading through what they're saying and stuff like that. The game will have full voice acting in both English and German, and it could have it in other languages as well. We are seeing what our options look like and what the possibilities would be. Now, obviously, we have to think a lot about our budget and make sure that everything goes in accordingly, and we want it to be very professionally well done. So, yeah. So we'll have more on that as things develop. But you'll probably mostly be hearing it in English, especially if you're using any other languages, because we will have full localization for well over 12 different languages. At least I forget what the specific number is. We were going to have a lot of localization, so you'd hear it in English or in German if you wanted to, while you are reading it in the language of your choosing. So for now, I'm upset with these guys because I'm like, hey, where's my paycheck at? And they're like, oh, well, the star sucks. And you're like, well, okay, that's fine. I did this stuff for you, so you still need to pay me. And they're like, nah, we're going to pay you what we give test subjects, which is 80 credits. Deuces. Freaking jerks. Wasn't expecting that one. Maybe we'll run into them again to see what all that hubbub's about. Maybe we'll find out that they're just scam artists. Or maybe we'll find out that they're actually scientists trying to get the right data and they just don't want to waste their time or money on things that they discover aren't good. Or maybe we'll discover that it's actually incredibly valuable and joke's on them for not thinking it's good. And, big old plot twist. There's a lot that can happen. A lot that can happen from here. We have an outlaw bomber. This guy, we actually showed the player model for this. Oh wow, that's collision course. We showed the player model here. A lot of detail work is going into the remodelization, if that's even a term, of these ships. You can actually see a lot of detail work being plugged in here. Like all of these are polygons right here. This is not just like a texture on the exterior of the ship. Like these are working polygons. You see that? Look at the quality when we zoom in, but you can see like there's a lot more detail in each of these vessels that you'll be discarding or deleting. All right. Will Russian be one of them? Absolutely, Russian will be one of the localization languages, localized languages. Now, this isn't doing a lot of damage to that armor. My guess is that it's just not a good weapon against armor as a whole. That just plowed through his health. Let's use this Benka Comet legendary weapon. Oh yeah. This thing's just absurdly powerful. Don't get to find this all the time on stream. We'll keep utilizing it. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left in the stream. I want to dive back into the tutorial, show you guys what's up with that, maybe even give you another scare. Oh, goodness gravy. Andy or Hans Christian? Malty, do you know who put that in there? Oh my gosh. Ridiculousness. So let's go ahead and dive on out of here. We're going to be loading up another version of the game, which is going to showcase the tutorial of EVERSPACE 2, which we only revealed for the first time earlier today, and here's our second time that we'll be showcasing it. Excellent. Tula Mayo, cockpit mode will also be added. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you mentioned cockpit mode, because something else that's available in this tutorial mission is cockpit mode. You can actually see how much more work we have to go with the cockpit itself. But everything that you see here, this is placeholder right here in front of us. But everything you see here in this cockpit, like this is going to be functioning, operational sort of stuff where if you wanted to like hide all of the stats and everything, you could actually still play the game looking at these details, much like you can in EVERSPACE 1. Now, in addition to that, you can't do in EVERSPACE 1, you can actually customize the interior of your cockpit. You'll be able to make it change depending on how you want it to look and function. There's a lot to that. So the front of your ship, you will be able to customize how that looks. Maybe even the color? I'm not actually sure. That would be cool. I think that would be awesome. But you'll have a lot of different ways to customize. And for those who still missed it, you'll be able to customize the body of the ship, the wings of the ship, and the engine of the ship as well, because we're using a modular system for the ship building process. Also, is it... There you go. Somebody just screamed. Got him! Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into this. You guys want to see this? Again, I know you do. So we are going to follow this tube right into space. A nice winding way in. We see that we have an infestation. Obviously, these are all blockouts of what this infestation is going to look like. Perfect. So now we're going to open up into the entrance here. I think this is actually where the jump scare occurs, if I'm not mistaken. Excellent. Alright, so we're going to keep going in. Goodness gravy. So here, as we're flying into this cave, we see a couple wrecks, and we're saying, hey, I'm finding some multiple signals, and our foreman's like, no, you don't need to do that. Just steer clear on the course. We want to jump in, jump out. He knows that there's something going on here. So we fly in here, and we say, hey, we're getting ready to go to the entrance of this location, and what the heck? There's this outlaw drone that's bothering us. Nice little tutorial of leading your target, taking them out, clear it, and now we can go into the main area of this location. Fuzzy dice. That would be pretty cool. We'll have to see what other means we can do to customize the interior of the ship, especially depending on what type of funding that we have at that point in time of customization. Ooh. Ah, crack-a-lackin'. Let's get into this. So basically at this point, the engineer's saying, hey, we are a lot deeper in outlaw territory than we should be, and this site is inoperable, so we need to figure out a way to activate it. So we're going to fly around here and grab these energy cells, which is a little tutorial about the grapple mechanic. So we're going to bring these back over here, plug them in just like so, get things going. Whoops. Perfect. So now we have power back on, or we will in a moment. And so our goal here as a wingman, we are covering these miners who are flying into the site to pull all of the yield in order to get their ticket out of the GMB's clutches, essentially. They're all kind of working here because they have to. It's money to put food on the table at all. And the foreman's having us go into this site that's deep in outlaw territory that's actually owned by the outlaws. As you can kind of see, place is getting on lockdown. We have the rumbling going down, so we want to shoot these things down. Pew, 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 pew. Now, I'm probably not going to get all of these. These are actually, it's kind of hard to shoot them all down. But it doesn't really matter if you get them all or not. The story's kind of revealing itself as we're blasting them. Foreman's like, oh, well, you know, you got to go where it pays. Oh, we got them all. Okay, perfect. And otherwise, just saying, like, you got to take them all out in order for the scanning to stop and for all the everything to, it's like, you know, to end, whatever. And basically, the engineer's like, I don't think that it's going to matter because now it's shaking, and we see this drill just open up a hole in the side of the asteroid, and some outlaws start pouring in. So these Weber drones aren't anything too dangerous, but they are going to try and capture the miners that we are protecting. So we are going to take them out. And right after they came in, they were going to send in these combat drones to take them out once they were locked down. But because we took out the Webers first, these guys don't get anything. We just rocked it. So all our miner buddies are flying about, trying to get back to their yields, all type of stuff. But we're going to figure out what's going on outside. So as the wingman, I'm going to make sure it's secure their exit out of here. So the engineer among us, he's going to hack into this door just like so, pop it open, and then we are going to escape. There we go. Woo! And that's the introduction mission that I blew right through for you guys. The tutorial of EVERSPACE 2. Here you see a little bit of conflict outside, GMB and your mining forces. Imagine an explosion that occurs on this ship where he kind of like topples sideways, and then you have all these other guys who are just escaping along with the foreman who's like, screw you guys, he knew what he signed up for. What a jerk. Oh my gosh. So then we have to figure out how we can help out the engineer, maybe. See what can occur after that point. And hope for the best as we develop into the story. Figure out where things go from there. So, this is a time for questions. Focus is completely on you guys. Showed the tutorial twice. We also talked about that content update from Malty, who is also in the stream himself. In the flesh. Thank you so much for being here. It's a really good time. And we are 5 days left on the Kickstarter. We added a lot of new tiers for you guys. If you really want to invest in development, you want to put your money where your mouth is, now is the time to do so. We've got ways that you can really plug yourself into the game. Like really cool things. You can be right there in developing new creative content with us as we do this. This is not something you get out of a pre-order. This is exclusive to a Kickstarter. So you've got 5 days if you want to decide to put a little bit of yourself into the game. Otherwise, what are your questions? Let's have a conversation. You guys are beautiful and lovely people. I'm sure you would never say anything ill about me. All right, what do we got? I see some comments about Nintendo Switch. We are planning on launching EVERSPACE 2 on as many consoles as we can, of course. Like, we want it to be accessible, much like we did with EVERSPACE 1. We do know that pertaining to its power that's needed for the game, even this far out of development, with its full release in 2021, it's not going to be able to fit on a Nintendo Switch. It's just not going to operate the way that we desire the game to be played, nor the way that you would want it to be played. So we are looking past the Nintendo Switch. But who knows? Nintendo can come up with some other system, and maybe we'll look into that. We don't know. We don't know yet. Time will tell. We've got a lot of time. So, excellent. Let's see what else you guys were chatting about. I love the immersive aspects in this. Don Hugo Dugo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But I'm glad that you really like it. Man, you're just in the comments just like, I love the immersive aspects. So beautiful. I hope these kind of interactive aspects run through the rest of the game. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the tutorial's just a sliver of the presentation of the game overall, right? So we are introducing these components so that you know how you're going to invest yourself into those elements that are far more detailed, far more rich in presence later through the game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Will there be large cutscenes, either game engine or pre-rendered? So the way that we are looking to do things, we have two different main ways of doing cutscenes, right? So in EVERSPACE 1, you actually saw both of them as well. You have it to where things stop and you like look around the game space, in-game cutscene, right? Where things are happening and it like shifts around. So you see, then you also have, in EVERSPACE 1 in particular, they're called flashbacks, which are animated videos, short animated videos, which give you a little sliver of the lore, the story. EVERSPACE 2, we're looking to do a very similar thing, where you have cutscenes that are in-game, moving about, as you saw in the tutorial right there, as well as having animated cutscenes, similar to EVERSPACE 1, but these aren't flashbacks. And you'll know why, especially if you've completed the EVERSPACE 1 story, but even from that, you'll find out more about what's going on in EVERSPACE 2 as we're able to reveal it. So all you guys know as of right now, because of that tutorial mission, is that we start things off in the employ of the GMB faction as kind of a muscle guy. And we are flying around helping out a mining squad get into this outlaw base. Things go south. What occurs after those events? We'll find out the more we can reveal. I suppose we actually did reveal a little bit more about that. If you guys were paying attention to the story vlog, which I believe is number 2. But I digress. If it comes out on Switch, I think that'll be the time I decide to finally buy a console. Yeah, this game will not be able to fit on a Switch. We'll see what happens in the future. What is the main benefit to being Caden? Oh my gosh. Helping little old ladies at grocery stores. Main benefit. Huge. What headphones am I using? I'm using very generic my phone headphones because I used to have a pair of really nice headphones that I utilized and they broke, and I've never replaced them, even though I kept saying that I was going to replace them. I'm very frugal. That's the word I'm going to use. I'm incredibly frugal. I actually need a new chair. I need new headphones. I just don't like spending money, even if it's company money. I just don't like doing it. So there you go. The more you know about me. Excellent. So yeah, that's all they are. I need some good, solid questions about EVERSPACE, the lore, anything else. Otherwise, I'm just going to start talking, guys. I'm just going to start talking. I hope that you guys are strongly considering joining us through the development cycle of EVERSPACE 2. For those of you who just got here for some crazy reason, EVERSPACE 2 is an arcadey space shooter in an open-world RPG system. We have 5 days left on the Kickstarter. If you want to be a part of this development, if you want to put a little part of you into this experience, I implore you to go check us out on Kickstarter and see what tier looks right for you. If you want to contribute to the game space, there's a lot of really good ways to do so. If you just want to play the game when it launches, you can do that. Boring. But, I mean, there's opportunities galore. Obviously, you'll also be able to join us on Discord, or Twitter, or Reddit, or Facebook, or wherever you want to have a conversation with us, really. I strongly encourage you to do Discord. I'm on there a lot. My presence has been a little light recently because I've been a little under the weather. But rest assured, we have conversations there all the time. We like making fun of you, or having deep conversation, deep, intelligent conversation with you guys. It's really good. So definitely be a part of that. So much fun, really. NPCs return. Maurice, Caden, I love that you guys are not asking a lot of questions, but ask questions that I can answer. We'll have more information on NPCs returning. Definitely favorite companions and whatnot from EVERSPACE 1 that I know you guys have been asking about and stuff. We are looking into ways to push them into the experience of EVERSPACE 2, but we also don't want to reveal too much too early. We want the game to be a surprise for you guys to enjoy. So we're not going to tell you every single character that comes back. Maybe some that are beloved won't. Maybe that's just how the story has to develop. Or maybe this is all a ruse and everybody's coming back. I don't know. Spoilers, I know. But, you know, we'll tell you in time. Just be patient with stuff like that. It'll be good. It'll be good. Any details on the other classes? Oh, absolutely, Martin P74. Yeah, we actually showed a snippet of the other classes of ships in a recent vlog and or Kickstarter update. I implore you to go check that out. You'll have to go over to the Kickstarter to the updates and find it from there. I know I'm kind of sending you on a task. My apologies. Otherwise, you can dive into the Discord. I'm sure there's links there straight to it. But yeah, we showcased a little bit of the smaller ship gameplay as well as the blockouts for the larger ships, and also covered a little bit of detail work regarding ship customization. A lot of bit of detail, in fact, including but not limited to wing, hull, and engine customization as well as cockpit customization. Excellent. All right, we just have a couple more minutes. I'm going to answer just a couple more because I know the stream started late, so dang it, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. That's how it works. Boom! Is Dinar Roslin still alive? Spoilers, dude. Spoilers. Who's Dinar Roslin? I've never even heard of that name. Any consideration for having voice acting in the game? Absolutely. The game will be fully voiced in English and German. Any details on the other... Okay, we got that one. Let's see. Looking for any more to answer. Will you be able to interact with NPCs in space via talking option? So we're not going to have like this really crazy dialogue tree options of like asking, hey, how's it going? How's the weather? Which opens up a new opportunity to be like, hey, do you want to get lunch sometime? Like, we're not going to do anything crazy like that. It's very straightforward. You interact with the person, you have a conversation, you move on. We want to keep things fast-paced, arcadey space shooting and looting. We don't want to hog up too much of your time in that element of the role-playing side of the game. There will be a lot of different jobs and a lot of different characters that you can choose to interact with and take on in that sense, but not like full-blown dialogue options. Let's see. Oh, Bruce Star, about the sweet debug mode. You... Be able to alter the NPC's behavior depending on what you say to them. That is too far out to even know. I don't even think that's a conversation we've had internally as a team. I think that would be cool. We'll have to see how things develop. I'm thinking that's probably not going to be too much into that realm. Will it be at E3 next year? That's a really good question, and it's hard to say as of right now. I know that we're going to have a lot of conventions that we want to show the game to, and not just this build, but obviously future builds that we can show a lot more, because there's so much more in the game. I am really tempted to show you guys content that I know that you're not supposed to see. Oh my gosh, guys. Just know that we are working on a lot of stuff, okay? There's a lot coming. You're going to see a lot more soon. A lot more soon. All right, last couple questions, and then I'm going to head out. Can we customize Adam's hair? Caden? Goodness gracious. What game engine are you using? We are using Unreal Engine 4, and we're also using blueprints within that. So a lot of C++, a lot of blueprints. Bringing it all together. We have a team that's very experienced with coding, but it's also nice to be able to just drag and drop, plug things into where they need to go, and just move on with our lives as well. Team is very... Oh my gosh, the guys are fantastic. They even plugged in a freaking scary pumpkin. Oh my gosh. Excellent. Form esteem... if you're going to do voiceover in different languages... Why not let some of the characters speak in random languages? Imagine you accidentally bump into the scientist who speaks Chinese with you. You'd see English subtitles anyway. Actually, fun fact, the characters in EVERSPACE 1, the Okar, actually speak in a foreign language. So if you can identify that, maybe there's a prize waiting for you in the Discord. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, so there are actually foreign languages already inside of the game that are not English or German. That's great. Okay, guys. I've got to go. It's 5 minutes after 3 where I live. I'm in the central time zone in America. The team is based out of Hamburg, Germany. Don't be confused. I am an American working for the team. We are all awesome together. We work very closely. We get a lot of stuff done. And we can also do a lot more through your dedication and your support through the Kickstarter, of course, if I'm speaking to. You need to dive in on this as soon as possible. If you want to support us, I'm diving over to an animated screen here to show you the Discord link, the Twitters, and also the Kickstarter link itself. If you... Oh, it's fading away. Don't worry, it'll come back. If you want to be a part of our development cycle, by all means, now is the time to do it. We have 5 days left. This chance is going to fling on by. You're going to look at next week and go, oh man, I really wish that I would have supported development of EVERSPACE 2, especially when 2021 gets here. You're going to see the game, you're going to feel bad that you didn't do the Kickstarter because there's no sliver of you in it whatsoever. Now is the time to do that. You can support our development. You can put your money where your mouth is and help us through development by providing a ton of feedback. Obviously, your financial support, as well as many other details. You guys got to check out those tiers. We added a bunch of them today. This is an experience like no other. EVERSPACE 2, come on guys. Like seriously, get on this. It's going to be great. Absolutely great. And I'm so excited to be making this game with you guys. Like, I'm really making this game with you guys. You are the core of this experience. So bring it together. Bring it all together. 5 days left. Let's go. I am not going to be in the Discord after this stream. I have got to transition to some business-like errands, but rest assured I will be popping in and out of the Discord all freaking time. I always do. Lol hype, I know you're working on another video. I want to see stuff, dang it. And for anyone out there, if you have community work that you've been doing because you just nerd out about EVERSPACE 1, or you're just so excited about EVERSPACE 2, maybe you're drawing your own concept art for the game, or you made a music video, or whatever, send it to us. We will gladly show it on stream. We love the stuff that you guys put together. It's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. So hit us up. Drop us the love. We will spread the word. So keep doing your part. Sending the informations out there. We're going to keep doing it from here. We're going to rock this Kickstarter hard. I just know it. I just know it, folks. All right. I'm heading out. So you guys have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. It has really been my pleasure to do this stream for you guys. Don't stop being awesome, and I will catch you in the next stream, which will be on Friday. Toodles!